to get your daily dose of inspiration. We're going over the book, You Can Heal Your Life, and we are on chapter 1. If you have not checked out the introduction, it'll be down in the bottom, and the link, I'll leave a link below. The chapter that we're going over right now is called What I Believe. What we'll be doing in this brief video is I'll be going over the quote of the day. I'll give you guys 6 bullet points of the chapter, What I Believe, and then we will be concluding this with a poem. Okay, so let's go ahead and get straight into it. The quote is, "The gateways to wisdom and knowledge are always open." The bullet point number 1 is, life is really very simple. What we give out, we get back. Okay, so everything that we consume, everything that we eat, that we drink, that we listen to, that we read, the radio stations, the conversations that we have, that's all, we're consuming all of that. All of that is what we give out. What we give out is what we get back. So it starts the fundamental level of what you're consuming. What are you reading? What are you listening to? Who are you surrounding yourself with? What kind of conversations are you having? What type of TV shows are you watching? Are you consuming books? What are you doing? What are you bringing in? Because everything that you bring in is what you put out. Okay, that's what you put out. So when we create peace and harmony and balance in our minds, we find it in our lives. Now, I'm going to tell you 2 statements. The first statement is, people are out to get me. If you relate to that, go ahead and put a number 1 in the comment below. People are out to get me. Put it in the comment below. Go ahead. And the second statement is, everyone is always helpful. If you relate to that statement, go ahead and put a number 2 down below. Go ahead. Put a number 2. Go ahead. Okay, cool. Now, each one of these are beliefs that we create, and they're quite different beliefs that we tell ourselves and that we create, and they both are going to create a different experience in your life. Now, what we believe about ourselves and about our life, it becomes true for us, right? So you actually have a choice to tell yourself that people are out to get you, or that everywhere you go, people are helpful. You have a choice, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and go to bullet point number 2. Number 2 is, most of us have foolish ideas about who we are and many, many rigid rules about how life ought to be lived. Now, this isn't entirely our faults, right? Because when we're kids, we are actually taking notes of all the adults around us, how they're reacting, what they're doing, things like that, on how we're going to be as adults. But we could bring awareness to this topic. If we bring awareness, then we're able to actually make our life how we want our life. Now, the very fact that you found this book and that you're actually listening to me is actually letting you know that you're on the right path as far as getting your mind on positive thinking and creating the life that you actually want. So the very fact that you listening here, it's, come on now, let's give you a round of applause. Exactly. So now, these are some other beliefs that we tell ourselves. Men don't cry. Women can't handle money. What lemon ideas do you live with? Think about it. What have you been telling yourself for years that you need to stop today? Exactly. We're all telling ourselves something that we don't need to be telling ourselves. So when we're kids, the way we learn is by seeing other people react. It's the way we learn. Think about it, okay? When we were kids, if you lived with people who were very unhappy, who were frightening, guilty, or angry, then you learned a lot of negative things about yourself and about the world. I never do anything right. It's my fault. If I get angry, I'm a bad person. Beliefs like this, it makes your life frustrating, okay? And then that puts us to bullet point number 3. When we grow up, we have a tendency to recreate the emotional environment of our early home life. So, if we were around negative people as kids, unfortunately, think about it. How many times have you found a lover that was like your father or like your mother? How many times have you found a boss that was like your big sister or like your big brother? How many times have you noticed that the people that you're surrounded by, they remind you of the people that were in your very home when you were a child? It goes on a positive way though too. If you had loving parents, encouraging parents, somebody that said, hey, you can do it, you got this, you're wonderful, you're amazing, I love you, and things like that, then you tend to seek out people that tells you those same things or similar things that have that type of energy. We recreate our childhood. Now, the thing about it is, if we bring awareness to this area, then we can go ahead and create a positive one. And that brings us to bullet point number 4. The point of power is always in the present moment. So right now is the most important moment of your life. Everything that happened yesterday, it already happened. It's gone, right? We can't do nothing about it. The things that's happening next week, we can't do nothing about it. All we could do about what's happening today, right now, in this moment. All the events you have experienced in your life up to this moment have been created by your thoughts and beliefs you have held in the past. So, if we take the moment to go ahead and check our thoughts, check what we're thinking, check what we're telling ourselves, harness this very moment, then imagine how far we could get. I read a book called The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. Check it out, y'all. Maybe I'll even do a review on it pretty soon, because that book is amazing. Okay, check it out. Tell me in the comments below if you read that book, and tell me what you thought about it if you have. Now think about it just for a moment. What thoughts are you thinking right now? Are they negative? Are they positive? Now, you know that the thought that you're thinking right now is creating your future, right? Just notice and be aware that all the thoughts that we think, they're creating our future. All right, and that takes us to bullet point number 5. Bullet point number 5. Y'all ready? Okay, believe it or not, we do choose our thoughts. We are in control of our thoughts, whether you like it or not, whether it's good or bad, whether it's up or down, left or right. You choose your thoughts. The thoughts that you had yesterday, 90% of them, you have them again today. The thoughts that you have today, you'll have them tomorrow. Now, it's a challenge to change our thoughts, but like I've said before, all you have to do is pay attention to how you're feeling. If you feel bad, the thoughts that you're telling yourself are bad. If you feel good, more than likely those thoughts are those good thoughts that you're telling yourself. So look at how often you have refused to think a positive thought about yourself. Well, you can also refuse to think a negative thought about yourself. It seems to me that everyone on this planet whom I know or have worked with is suffering from self-hatred and guilt to one degree or another. The more self-hatred and guilt we have, the less our lives work. The less self-hatred and guilt we have, the better our lives work on all levels. So if you tell yourself I am fat, you can replace that by I am pre-fit, I am healthy, I am lovable, I am amazing, I'm eating healthy daily, I'm so happy and grateful about my summer body. We have to replace our negative thoughts with affirmations. Every time you hear yourself tell yourself a negative thought, replace it with 3 positive thoughts on the same topic. Everybody's brainwashing us. We need to brainwash ourselves. What we want to think. Okay? And then that brings us to point number 6. Are we on 6 already? Yes, we are. Bullet point number 6. All dis-ease comes from a state of unforgiveness. Dis-ease. When your body is not at ease. That's what disease. You break down the word. Dis-ease. Whenever we are ill, we need to search our hearts to see who it is we need to forgive. In this chapter, Louise Hay, she refers to the Course in Miracles, which is another amazing book. All disease comes from a state of unforgiveness. Whenever we are ill, we need to look around to see who it is that we need to forgive. I will add to that concept that the very person you find it hard to forgive is the one you need to let go the most. And forgiveness means giving up, letting go. It has nothing to do with condoning their behavior. It's just letting the whole thing go. We do not have to know how to forgive. All we need to do is be willing to forgive. The universe will take care of the house. Okay? So, disease comes from the state of unforgiveness. When people come to me with a problem, I don't care what it is: poor health, lack of money, unfulfilling relationship, or skill creativity. There's only one thing I ever work on, and that is loving the self. I find that when we really do love and accept, approve of ourselves exactly as we are, then everything in life works. It's as if a little miracle happens. Okay, so basically in this part of the book, she's just saying how important it is to love ourselves, to put ourselves first. Self-love. So, making sure that if a bubble bath makes you feel good, do that. If coloring in a coloring book makes you feel good, do that. Meditating, praying, we have to make time for self-love. We make time to wash our bodies, right? We make time to eat, right? But how much time have you created for self-love? How much time have you set aside to make sure that you pamper yourself and take care of yourself and make sure yourself is okay? It should be in our ritual. We put in our ritual to brush our teeth and wash our face. Why not put in our time to do our affirmations? Self-love is the root of all forgiveness. Self-approval and self-acceptance are the main keys to positive change in every area of your life. Loving thyself, to me, begins with never ever criticizing ourselves for anything. Criticism locks us onto the very pattern we are trying to change. Understanding and being gentle with ourselves helps us to move out of it. Remember, you have been criticizing yourself for years and it hasn't worked. Try approving of yourself and see what happens. Just see what happens. All right, now we're going to go ahead and go to the poem and we'll be done with this chapter. Okay, the poem at the end of this chapter is, in the infinity of life where I am, all is perfect, whole, and complete. I believe in a power for greater than I am that flows through me every moment of every day. I open myself to the wisdom within, knowing that there is only one intelligence in this universe. Out of this one intelligence comes all the answers, all the solutions, all the healings, all the new creations. I trust this power and intelligence, knowing that whatever I need to know is revealed to me, and that whatever I need comes to me in the right time, space, and sequence. All is well in my world. Okay, and that is the end of chapter 1. Please believe the chapter 1 is called What I Believe. Go ahead and leave a comment below. Tell me what you think of this chapter. Tell me an affirmation that you are telling yourself daily. My affirmation that I'm telling myself daily is, I am so happy and grateful that I go where I want to, when I want to, and I enjoy the world around me. Now, I know that's a tricky affirmation right now since we're all on lockdown, quarantine style, but I look forward to the days that I could go anywhere, whenever I want to, wherever I want to, however I want to. So please share your affirmation down below and be on the lookout for the next chapter. Is called What is the Problem? What is the problem? Okay, and we'll meet back soon. And you guys have a good time out there in internet land. And if you haven't already, make sure you check out part 1, which is the introduction of You Can Heal Your Life. All right, bye for now.